Welcome back to Radical Restoration and Resto Mods. This week we've got 4 '67 Mustang Fastbacks for you. We're going to walk you around a couple of them that we're in the middle of building, and then other ones that we've completed that are here, and we're going to road test them. Hopefully, if the weather holds out, we'll be able to do that. So I'm going to just start with a couple things. The first one here, we use these Dynacore body shells, which is a reproduction shell. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing with this, you know. A lot of guys like original ones, but they're in such bad shape normally that you end up with spending so much more money on, you know, all the rust that's on them and stuff. And this is another alternative which works fairly well. So this one over here, we've been blocking it, priming it. We've taken the towers out because this is going to be a Coyote swap with a 6-speed, and we're doing all of our own in-house front suspension, rear suspension. It's basically going to be now a full-frame car. We do all of our own front clips as well, so we'll have the tubular A-arms, you know, in here with the drop cross member. The reason why you've got to take these out is these Coyote motors are pretty wide, so that'll fit in there nicely. We're going to smooth out the firewall here with the vintage air units. The front, the rails will all be real beefy stuff, and then the same thing, it'll be full all the way to the back. We do a Fab 9 rear end with a strange center section and axles. This one is going to be, I believe it's going to be like a burgundy color with more of a stock looking rim like the gray one that's behind, just a couple cars over, but all modern underneath, so it's going to be really neat. This is actually another Dynacore body shelf. So this car is called Sinister 67, and this thing is badass. It's got all the frames connected in it. Same thing, Fab 9 rear end. It's got a real kick-ass stereo system that Dave made the housings and everything for the subs, the roll bar and stuff. It's got the side port exhaust in it.
And this car here that we're looking at,
yeah,
the Sinister, is it a Dynacore body as well?
Dynacore body as well. It was just an easier way to go because this was such a custom build. We've got all custom gauges for it. The seats are already made. We've just left all that out because we're in the process of doing the vintage air piece next. This has got a Detroit Speed front end. I could probably peek at it here to show you here's the hood. So we've got the Detroit Speed. It's a full billet front end. The motor is an absolute beast. It's a Dart Block 427. It has modified AFR heads on it. This is a serpentine system supercharger for the front. This has got everything matches with the fuel system, the cam. All the heads are all ported a particular way that we wanted it done. This thing, about 1,000 horsepower.
Ooh, that's a lot of horses.
It's a beast of a car. And same thing, Trim X 6-speed, the strange rear end center pod and stuff. You can see some of the little details on this thing alone. You know, you've got billet hinges, the fast fuel system. We're running a different adapter plate, and we're going to do an electric boost system. You get problems with that with these camshafts in them. It takes away a lot of the vacuum. So we're going to run it on a separate pump so that there's no issues when you're trying to slow down from 200 miles an hour. Did I say that?
And then there's a lot of like details that you would never notice until you park them up next to some original body ones.
Right.
A lot of stuff was grafted in and molded in. I see here.
Yeah.
Bumpers, fenders.
Normally, if you look across, you can see the one here. You've got the seam line. This car all smoothed out. There's nothing there. Everything's tucked back in at the back. The bumpers are tucked in.
Looks like it's got wheel arches as well.
It's got wheel well arches. We're just going to open these up. We've got billet screens that go in here. You can see, look at the dish on these rear rims alone. Just crazy, right? So if you come around the back, you can see we've got the sequential tail lights, and the bumper's all tucked in real nice as opposed to looking at the sort of stock style. We've got the big flip up gas cap, which is gorgeous. And then kind of peek in here. You can see there's gauges, even custom, we've done custom pedals for it as well, and we're just finishing off all the wiring and stuff.
And that's all electric driven pedals there and whatnot?
Yeah, everything driven. And then we've just got the AC. Once the AC unit's in place, then we can put the computer pieces in for the fast fuel system. So, like I said, killer car. Gonna be real cool. I'll take you over to this gray one next. This one here. We've got some still pictures from when we were working on this one. This is we call this the eBay car. This fellow that bought it got hoodwinked by some people across the border. So what happened was they sent out a picture of a car that looked way better than what he ended up with. So when it showed up, it was, you know, like Fred Flintstone stuff, right? You could see right through the floor. Motor was seized, no wiring in it. It was a mess. So the only original steel on this car was basically we were left with the roof and part of the firewall. You'll see in the pictures that come along with this that the floor front to back had to be all done. The supports in the front had to be done. Quarters, doors, fenders. It was a mess. Now it's a real sweetheart. I mean, it's got a beautiful interior in it. And you can see it's been brought to somewhat stock. And then we redid all the interior, though. We did the whole car. And inside this nice small block, 2.4 barrel, about 600 horse. Yeah, so all the cars that come out of here are pretty stout, you know. We don't like to fool around with that 300 horsepower stuff, so. Nice little motor. And this is a little screamer too, this thing. So, you know, it just torches these rear tires off of this thing. So, nice car. We just got it back in. We're just gonna fix the back glass up front. At the time we did the car, we couldn't get a back glass for it, so we put the original in, and it had some fine line scratches and stuff in it. So we're just gonna switch that up for him, and then he'll be back out on the road shortly. And just once the weather clears, And this one, we've got a nice little stroker motor in this. Woo, woo. So this one again, based on the 351 Windsor, lots of power. We're bit of a story behind this one. It was being done at another shop, and when we got it, you couldn't even get the windshield in to the car. The car was so twisted. What they had done is they had put a floor and stuff in it, and again, they didn't have it set up properly. So when they tried to put all the glass and stuff in it, everything was out of whack in the car. So we had to, you know, basically take half of it back apart, rejig the car so that we could get the windshield and the glass and get it all straight. And what they had done, this is the nightmare part, is when they did the front end, it was out over half an inch. So what happened was they were trying to get the hood to fit, and there was these huge gaps between the hood and the fender. And what they did was they strapped the car down, pie-shaped the front, and jacked it up because the whole inner was pointing down. There was this huge gap, so they ended up pie-shaping it. So it basically was tiered down. So that was their cure to fix it. It didn't work. So we had to, same thing, take it all apart, get it all level, nice car. It's a good looker. It's not an original Shelby.
So this isn't an actual GT500?
No, it's a replica.
Replica, yeah.
Nice way of saying it. So, but nicely done. Nice car. Beautiful color. Go this side so you can actually see inside. But the interior is all cleaned up. Pro car seats. Lots of little goodies in it. We're hoping, if the weather holds out, we're gonna take this one and the gray one out this afternoon. We'll just see. It's raining outside right now, so.
I haven't even heard these cars yet, so I'm dying to hear what they sound like.
They're healthy. Yeah, they're both real healthy. This is a nice car. I'm not sure, I believe the owner might have this up for sale, and it might have been sold already, I'm not sure, but you just tweak a couple things before it goes anywhere. So, you know, same thing, spring's around the corner. So, we end up, I think we redid the hood on this too, grafted in the louvers for it. Hopefully we can get them out on the road and you can see what they sound like and what they run like. Thank you for joining us this week. If you're ever looking to get a Mustang done or a 60s or 70s muscle car, we do restorations or resto mods. Give us a call. Let's see what we can do for you.